My name is Peter Unwin. I'm a senior lecturer at the University of Worcester, where I teach on the Masters in Social Work. And we became aware through our work with service users and carers that they were unhappy with the way we collected feedback as part of the students' portfolios, largely seen the system as tokenistic and one-off, and service users and carers not really understanding quite what they were able to comment on and what the consequences would be. So we applied to the Higher Education Academy for a grant to research this issue, and we've produced a research report that's available on the HEA website, suggesting that feedback should be longitudinal, it should take place across the placement, and that service users and carers should be told much more clearly what their rights and responsibilities are if they engage in student feedback. So we've also produced a leaflet, and the following video clip shows Amy, a Masters in Social Work student, discussing with Nina, a service user, about what it might entail if you become involved in the new way of giving feedback to students as part of their social work training.
So I understand that you've had a letter about feedback and your involvement with the student.
Yeah, I did, and they sent me that booklet, leaflet thing, which was really useful, because I was a bit worried about giving feedback, and I was particularly worried it might, if I said something a bit uncomplimentary, it might make people not want to give me as good a service or something.
I think sort of what's important to note that the feedback and your involvement in that aspect with a student is very different to the service delivery that you have received from members of my team and what you receive from me from now on. There is definitely, we want to separate that and know that the feedback that you give has no bearing on the services in both service delivery and also the amount of time that we can spend together, and again separate the feedback from that to say things that you're feeling about that student.
Yeah, and that's the other thing you just said about opt-in, being because sometimes I'm better than others, and I was a bit worried about saying yes and then being ill and not being able to. But I feel better knowing that I could be able to say, oh no, I can't do it anymore, or not today, or whatever. So that's good.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Also, in the leaflet it said I could have just do it the way that I felt. I can't remember what the words were, but that was useful, because I don't sometimes get confused, so it's better for me to do it when I feel better and when I'm remembering well.
And there are different ways that we would encourage you to do.
Well, that's good then, because that's the other thing, was I was a bit worried if I was spending time telling you what you've done well, or that we wouldn't have time to sort out my issues. But if it's not going to be like that, is it?
No, absolutely. I think that's a key part of it, really, is that we want to separate that and make that separation from your involvement as a service user and my involvement with you as a student, and make that distinction between the two. It is however you feel comfortable making that feedback, some suggestions, as you read in the leaflet, could be a continuous little diary of you writing bits here and there, and whether you raise those issues or comments with me during our next meeting, or whether you raise them with the supervisor at the beginning, middle or end of this placement. I mean, that's up to you, and again, being able to say at any point, no, I don't want to do this anymore,
in the booklet it says about it, the information going in your portfolio. Now I thought portfolios were like what art students had. So can you tell me what that meant? Really?
I mean, when a student is on placement anywhere, there will be a certain amount of evidence that a student has to show the university and the supervisor that they can do different things and that they're meeting different areas of knowledge. However, I think the portfolio also, it needs to reflect the actual engagement that the social work student has with people, because anyone that isn't party to the engagement that we have isn't going to really know. So I think where your feedback would come in with your permission is just slot it at the back of the portfolio, and it sort of adds an extra dimension really to the evidence that the university see, which would be a tutor and a couple of other members of staff. And then, I mean, it's only within the university that this goes, and also it's completely anonymised and confidential. Your name wouldn't be on it, no matter how you do your feedback in the end, whether it is the little diary that we mentioned, or it is a questionnaire at the end, or it is a conversation with a supervisor. Your name still won't be in that, within the portfolio, and it's just to show supervisors and tutors at the university how I am in practice.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I think the portfolio and not the portfolio, the leaflet.
Yes.
And what you've said made me understand more about why you were getting this, and it was to help you learn rather than anything. And that was really good. And now I forgot about something I wanted to ask you, because that's what happens to me. But I think I understand, and you said I could ring you if I had any more questions.
Yeah, and as you know, I mean, you already know my supervisor, so that's good, and you can ring me or them at any time. And also feel free if there's a day where you don't want to do it or anything, and that's all.
It did do something.
I mean, anything
really
that could help me improve my practice and any future students is really important, because you're the only person that can give us that sort of critical feedback, so that's why it is so important, especially for our future career.
I might have something nice to say.
That would be also good.
That's grand then. I'll see. I like to think I do the diary one.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much.